Hi, today I'm going to show you how to set up the project and then we're gonna see how it looks like and basically how it's used. So first we're gonna start off by prerequisites. As you can see, we need Java Development Kit version 23 or higher, as well as Maven version 3.6 and higher. After you make sure that you have these requirements, we can move to steps to set up and run the ChatApp project. First, we're going to clone the project. So I'm gonna create a test directory. I clone the project and I basically cd to the project. So I change the directory to ChatApp. Now, I have to clean install using Maven. My Maven, I use IntelliJ, so it comes as a plugin and this is its path. So I will use this command to add it to my path to just use mvn instead of writing this whole path. And now it's been added to my path, so I can move on and continue the steps. So Maven clean install. Okay, looks like it's done. And we basically run the server now. So you run the server and it says the chat server is running. We're going to do the same thing for client. We're gonna run the client and we're gonna pass localhost as an argument to it. So I have to choose a screen name for myself, Arad. And this is basically how it looks like. On the left side, we have a view of chats. As we add more chats, there are gonna be more rows here. And on the top, I have a control panel. I have start private chat button, start group chat button, and get history button. And on the right side, I have my active users. So I only have Arad at the moment, and at least one person should be the coordinator. And in this case, Arad will be because he's the only person currently in the chat. And then I can get the details of the users. So basically when I tap on get users, it gives me their username, their ID, if they're coordinator, their IP address, and their port. So I'm going to run another client so we can start communicating. I'm gonna name it Robert. And finally, a third client, which I will name it Jamil. Okay, so at the moment, everyone is in general chat. So I say, hey all, and it goes to everyone. Now, as you can see, when new clients join, they get added to the active users list. So if I get the details of Robert, it tells me his username, ID, he's not a coordinator, and the same details as it gives for other users. Now, I'm gonna start a private chat with Jamil. So select Jamil and I tap on OK, and it gets added here, but not in Jamil's chat yet, because as soon as I send a message, that's when the chat gets created. So I say, hey, Jamil, and see, it gets added to the chat list of Jamil, and Jamil can move to Arad, and it says, hey, Jamil. So see, when you move between different chats, the history of that chat gets loaded into the display. Say, hey, Arad. Okay, now I'm gonna create a group chat using Robert, including everyone. So Arad and Jamil. Gonna name it University of Greenwich, UOG. Create. And the color of group chats is orange, and the color of private chat is blue. So an orange UOG gets added to my chat list. Now say, hey guys. And the chat gets added to Jamil and Arad's chat. Hi. Okay. So the next functionality is get history. So I'm gonna write another thing here. How are you? So when I do a get history, you can see it says chat history saved to UOG, so the name of the chat .txt, and let's check it. So we're gonna have another terminal ls, so we can see it's been added here, and when we check it, it says, hey guys, hi, how are you? Hey guys, hi, how are you? So that's basically how the get history works. Okay, so when so currently I have an active chat here, so between Jamil and Arad. So Jamil, let's say Jamil will leave the chat, and as you can see, Jamil gets his name gets darker, and it's been removed from the active users list as well. So, and when I try to send a message to him, it says that gives me an error saying, it gives me a warning saying this private chat is no longer active. And so Arad is currently the coordinator, and when Arad leaves, someone else should be assigned as the coordinator, and in this case Robert is the only person, so we expect Robert to become the coordinator when I leave as Arad. And that's exactly what happened. Robert is now the coordinator. I can make sure of it by getting the details, and it says yes, is coordinator true. Okay, now we're going to cover fault tolerance. So what happens when a server or client terminates unexpectedly, maybe due to a network issue? So how is this handled? We have utilized heartbeats in our application. So server and client send and check for heartbeats periodically. For example, when a server doesn't receive a heartbeat from a client in a certain amount of time, it will assume that it's down. It will remove that client from the active users list, and it will notify other clients accordingly, and vice versa. So let's first check the server unexpected termination. So I'm going to run my server in debug mode so that later on in the middle of the process I can stop it and simulate an unexpected termination. And I'm going to run one client called Arad, and let's see what happens when I stop my server. Okay, now I've stopped my server. It may take up to 20 seconds because that's how often a client checks for a heartbeat from the server, and we expect that, yeah, as you can see, the server disconnection error comes up. It says lost connection to server and application will now close, and as we tap on OK, it will terminate. So that's how server unexpected termination is handled. And now let's check the client unexpected termination. So I'm going to run server normally. I'm going to run my first client in debug mode so that I can stop it and simulate an unexpected termination. And I'm going to run my second client just normally, Robert. So now I'm going to stop my my client, and I've stopped Arad. So as you can see now, it's not active anymore. So we expect after a while Arad gets removed from the active users in Robert's chat, and Robert becomes the new coordinator. Yes, and as we saw, Arad has been removed and Robert is now the new coordinator. And that's basically it. Thank you very much for staying until here, and I hope you've enjoyed it.